Most of these hurdles are self-imposed as designers. Like, they literally don't exist. There is no failure. Failure is like as real as like Halloween ghosts. As a designer, I was always like, oh, I'm just gonna work in an office. I'm gonna work and be an assistant to like a bigger firm in architecture. And then on the weekends, I was gonna DJ and be into Supreme shirts or something like that. That's what life is, 9 to 5. And the aha moment was like, wait, I can just put work out, and if it's good, it works. If it's bad, no one notices, and I can just get better at it. And then I could run into a friend or a brand and be like, hey, I got an idea.
YouTube, I'm back. What's up, guys? Hi, it's Carrot Bear here. Been dropping a lot of shorts. Today, I just want to talk about some things I've learned through failing with a fashion brand. Well, more like a merch brand for my YouTube channel. Alright, so within that first clip was Virgil Abloh. He is very inspirational for me, just for one, being a Black creator who has pushed past his own doubts and fears, you know, as a creative. And before he had passed, condolences to people that knew him personally. But before he had passed, he had risen to being like the creative director of one of like a global fashion statement brand, Louis Vuitton. Yes. And he had did a lot of creative collabs with Louis Vuitton and Nigo, which were worth like thousands of dollars. Especially if you're big into like reselling. That video stands out to me because he talks about how he's just done a lot. He's done a lot. He talked about how he, you know, was a DJ. He was also going to school, you know, for fashion, and he just didn't know where things would take him. But that didn't discourage him. And the main point of what I want to focus on is how he stated, if you continuously drop things, yeah, big deal. People might not pay attention to it, but people do pay attention to what you drop when they do, you know what I'm saying? When it happens. So you can't just not drop, you know, you can't just not be on the game and think, oh, that's how I'm gonna play it, you know? You have to continuously put an effort regardless of who's watching, because you never know who's watching. Key point. And that is ultimately true. What do you want to see for yourself? That's why I have rebranded to something that feels more sustainable, at least for right now. There are small pieces that I've done based on my custom design. Like, when I say custom design, I mean my measurements, but hopefully I want to branch out. Just, here are 3 things that I learned that I don't want to make the same mistake again. Number 1, I had no realistic concept of a budget. Back when I was doing this, like in 2020, setting up like framework designs to send to a vendor, I was just like, yeah, how much of it should go into each segment of what I'm doing? Didn't have a concept of that. Honestly, I'm probably the first person in my family to do something like that. I had no one to ask. I didn't ask YouTube like I should have. And TikTok wasn't like really something that was popular to me back then. Man, I'm still hearing from people that I should make a TikTok page and like stick with it because everybody's on TikTok. But the budget was very flawed. I had a lot of things to work with. But if you don't have a concept of a realistic budget, you're going to overspend. You're going to overspend not only on things that you probably do need, but things that you don't need. Bro, I bought 2 trademarks. I trademarked 2 different logos. Crazy, right? Yeah, but it's just something I did. I didn't want to lose out on anything. I thought, why not get a trademark now? This is back before I had 100 videos. And I don't even have 100 videos on this account. When I had moved my email, I lost a lot of content. So I damn near had to start over with a lot of stuff. Not just trademark. There was things like no realistic concept of what design should be purchased yet. I kind of went off of just, posting on my Snapchat, certain stories that I would drop here and there. I was already doing like custom dyes. There was an app, I don't even know if they're active anymore, called the Shirt app or something like that. And I would upload like a blank t-shirt, blank white t-shirt, and my logo somewhere like on the left, and then dye. Like I would do custom dyes. I would like dye t-shirts and ship them. This is before I had bought into vendors that would, do wholesale dyes. I probably should have stuck with like that small of scale, because when I had switched to getting that from the vendor, it was a lot to work with and it cost me a lot. So you just want to know how to budget, know how much they're looking for, how many people are trying to buy certain products from you. Don't go ass out buying hundreds or, don't have a lot in inventory if you don't know how to sell that. Number 2, my inventory was huge. It's too huge, okay? I didn't know how much to sell. I didn't know who was going to buy into what, But also, if your inventory is huge, you have to have space for that. Through the process of me moving this year, I was not able to keep that, and I try to sell as much as possible. You want to know how to keep track of your inventory, not just for like space-wise, but keeping track of like what you have to sell for certain sizes. You want to know down to like the number, right? So you can give a number and say like, oh yeah, I have like 6 mediums left. Number 3, I was slow. Well, you know what? I don't even want to say slow, because I wasn't slow to marketing, because when I first dropped my, brand, it was on an actual website. But the web page is just to display what you have. It's not really marketing, to certain platforms, keeping up with that every month, but still keeping up with that every month and not like seeing a huge return on what you bought. It's kind of hard to keep up with. Honestly, I think I'm still learning how to market. Yeah. Number 3 was being slow to marketing, but also being like scared of people's opinions. Yes, I have had people tell me to my face like,
that design is trash. Like, I'm not buying it.
But then also I've had people that were like, oh yeah, like that looks cool, and they bought it. Sometimes it's really just it's a game, It is most definitely a gamble. And honestly, I would be lying to you if I'm here to say like I don't, and I'm not scared of people's opinions now. Even as me coming on here to talk about like my newest form of clothing. But the best thing you can do is start again and know where you slipped up. It's a brand that I've been talking about on this channel here and there consistently, because I really didn't know how to market it or how to sell it. It is a Depop account. I will link it below. Criador is creator in Portuguese. Fell in love with Portuguese. No falo Portuguese fluently, okay? However you say fluently in Portuguese. Mainly because you can go some videos back. I'll link the video too on the chat. On the chat? I'm not a streamer. Oh my goodness. On the screen. But I found out my granddad was from Sao Paulo, and I started listening to more like mixes of Brazilian funk music and stuff like that. Culturally, it just seemed very vibrant. Kind of what vision I had for Carrot Bear, but it was more of a merch brand. But mainly, it's you being the person who can create. That's just all of it is. All that it is. You know, just someone who recognize the potential they have to create. The O in Creador is a genderless symbol, meaning the things that I drop are for any gender, as long as you can fit them, long as, you know, you understand the measurements, whatnot. It's for you. You can buy it. Now, I wish on Depop you can say unisex clothing, but as of right now on Depop, I would just drop it based on like how it looks. Like they don't have that yet, okay? I am also non-binary. I do not care about gender. I don't care about gender as much as the general public. Okay? I don't mind being called a woman, but she, they is very fine with me because I understand that gender is most definitely a construct that holds humanity back from a lot. Okay, we could be much further if we did not go based off of gender stereotypes. Just looked at what people can do, what people like personally. Anyway, it's a whole nother story. You know, I'll also link that video if you want to hear me talk about what I think about gender constructs and how stupid they are. So basically, you just being able, the potential of you being able to create. That's all. The O in there is genderless. It's a symbol for gender nonconformity, meaning the collections I drop are going to be just that. Clothes. I really don't know how to look for models. And I'm gonna get on that a bit later. You know, right now it's very new. You can go check out what I have right now on my Depop page. Like I said, I am gonna link it down below. Main points of my brand: genderless, formed out of what you can create, and it's based in sustainable ways of, you know, creating clothing. There's a lot more that I have done with taking certain jean material, but I do want to move away from jean material. It's just so easy working with jeans. Sustainability is something that I also look forward to keeping within my brand, just because it is it's necessary, bro. I'm tired of fast fashion. We have too many clothes out here that can be transformed into things, new things that people want to wear. Do it, and that's what I'm doing, quite literally. The tags that I have are gunmetal tags, recycled gunmetal, things like that. You know, I'm really big into like recycling and reusing for the fashion brand that I have. And I mean, people might not like that. People might like it. Kind of emphasize that I've also had a part to play in how this looks right now. But I'm not here to take away from what was already created. I'm just here to add. It's just very new. It's really hard to talk about it. And that's why I was like, bro, how do I even make a long-term video on something that like I'm still in the process of dropping? On top of that, life in the US has been ass, and People love this ass or they hate it, okay? A lot more people are hating it, and I'm probably gonna drop a rant on that soon as well. But like, comment, share, subscribe to this video, and check out what I drop, okay? Check out what I drop. I'm gonna have more videos on what's gonna be new as well, how I'm gonna run my brand, how you can reach out to me for custom design, all of that. But you can go check out what I have so far on my Depop page today. But I will see you guys later, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
最初から自信ないですね。全然売れなかったし、まあ服作るのに服の勉強しなくても多分よくて、僕なかなか一緒のエディトリアルを勉強してたので、僕にっていうのはそんなに勉強してないんですけど、僕に限らず建築家でもそうですけど、全然素人でやった人の方が結構成功してるっていう例が多いから、全然そこにファッションのマニュアルとかに沿ってやらなかったから、それが誰もやったことのないものが出来上がって、